right, team, we did it. Race complete. Heck yeah. First Olympic distance triathlon is in the books. It was an exciting day for sure, filled with lots of ups and downs. So let's get into it. Let's do a little race recap and see how it went down. All right, so let's kind of back up a little bit and kind of I'll tell you guys, how it goes from the start, and we'll go from there. So we roll up to the race site. First thing you got to do is set up transition. Really, it's pretty easy. Like, really all you want to focus on is A, making sure you got all your stuff, and then B, just picking a spot on the rack where you can kind of recognize it for once you're coming out of the swim or off the bike, so that you know where all your stuff is and you can make transition easy. For me, I just kind of went to one of the first open racks. I got there early enough where it wasn't too busy yet, so that was pretty easy. Got all my stuff set up. Took a little bit longer than usual just because just some nerves, being my first race, kind of double, triple, quadruple checking, make sure I have everything, make sure it was lined up nice and in a line so that I could quickly transition. But so because of that, I ended up only having about 30 minutes from that point until race time. I would have liked to have the full hour so that I could have had a little bit more proper of a warm up. Basically, all I was able to do was some light calisthenics to get my body warmed up, and then I had to put on the wetsuit and head down to the water. Looking back, I definitely would have liked to got there a little bit earlier so that I could do more of that stuff, just kind of warm up the body. I find that if I have a better warm up, especially for the swim session, it really does help out my performance. So little things to note there. All right, so now let's get into the nitty gritty of the race. So what went well? The leg that I performed the best on was for sure the bike portion. So I finished the bike in 1 hour, 16 minutes. I averaged 19 miles per hour and my legs felt great the entire time. I was cruising out there. We only did about 800 feet of elevation throughout the race, so not too terribly big by any means. I thought that was pretty manageable, and there was plenty of sections that were nice and flat. So we really got to get after it. I felt really good on the bike. I did have one super scary moment though. I was changing my front gears from the small one to the bigger one because I wanted to go faster. And I must have messed something up because my chain didn't hop up there and it kind of went off the rail a little bit. So I was trying to fix it while still riding, and so I was looking down at my chain to see what was going on. And in that period, I kind of veered off the road a little bit and ended up going off the shoulder into the gravel side and was fishtailing like crazy. I was probably at that point in time doing close to 30 miles an hour, so I was ripping pretty good, and I was freaking out. I was like, I cannot fall right now. If I fall on all these rocks, I'm going to get super effed up. So I kind of tried to keep my mental composure, right side of my bike, and did a little almost bunny hop to get back onto the road because there was a pretty big lip from the gravel to the shoulder. So I had to get up there. But we recovered. We got up. The adrenaline definitely spiked after that moment, so that was pretty nuts. But got it done, finished off the bike portion. Like I said, I felt really good out there, and really while I was out there, the only people that passed me were folks who had TT bikes, and gosh, they were cruising on those things. They make it look so effortless when they're in their little tuck going, cruising by you, but otherwise I felt really good. I felt strong, crushed my hill climbs, did really well on the flats. So that was the bike portion. Felt good about that. All right, now what went so-so? For me, that was definitely the swim portion. So they had us all start in the water all at the same time, which was a bit nuts because you're all kind of trying to vie for a position to get in a line and go towards the buoys. It was a bit chaotic. Every swim is kind of this way. I mean, you're getting kicked, you're getting slapped. People are kind of swimming all around each other. So it is what it is. My time I thought was decent. So I finished it in 33 minutes, 28 seconds. Garmin said that was about 2 minutes per 100. So I was really happy about that. In the pool, I've been averaging 150. So I expected to be a little bit slower come actual race day, just given the fact that it's open water. I'm not the best at sighting yet, and just with everybody swimming around you, it's hard to really stay at a consistent pace. At least it is for me right now. So definitely something to work on. So I was happy with my pace, but my perceived effort throughout the swim was really high. I felt like I was struggling out there. My form went to crap. which definitely led to some increased fatigue. And I don't know, I just didn't feel like I was in control per se. Like, in the pool, you can really feel like you're hammering down your session, your sets, kind of like your recovery. But once it was like full out race, it was hard to get a beat on like where I was at, how I was doing, and I just felt like I wasn't in control the whole time. And there are times where I felt like my breathing wasn't going very well. I wasn't reaching as far as I could have, things like that. So just stuff to work on for the next one. I felt like my sighting was decent. Like I was able to pick up the buoys, and kind of looking at the route I did on Garmin, like felt pretty straight. So it wasn't like I was all over the place. So happy about that. And then from there, like the transition out of the water to the bike was long. We had to run up this huge steep hill right out of the water, and then probably run another 25, 50 yards or so just to make it to the transition area. And then they had you like, snake weave through these gates to get to your bike. So that was a little bit of an interesting take, but oh well, every transition is going to have its different things. Okay, so now what went wrong? And this portion I was a little bit bummed about. The run was definitely, I totally fudged it up. Like I wish I would have had a much better run, but it is what it is. So I don't know what happened, but essentially, like kind of towards the tail end of the bike, I started to feel a little side stitch coming on. Didn't really think much of it, especially because I was I was riding on the hangers. So I just kind of figured that, hey, once I go right side up, like I'll get better blood flow throughout my body. The stitch will probably go away. I get into transition, I switch into my shoes. That part was super quick. I'm off and running, and almost immediately, like the stitch gets 10 times worse. It started on my right side. I got, 100 steps in, and then before you know it, both sides are just absolutely crushing me, and it just hindered my pace. I tried so hard for the first mile to get them to go away. I tried like running with my arms stretched, like slowing down the pace, tried to really like focus on my breathing, but it was like, I was in this feedback loop where I would try to focus on my breathing, and then I'd focus on it too much, and then I'd be like, oh shit, now I'm like tensing up my abs too much, and now it's making it worse. And so I like couldn't shake it. And I fought them the whole time. They like finally got a little bit better once I hit mile 5. But by that point, I was pretty frustrated with how the run went. So it wasn't like it wasn't like it was the best thing ever. So anyway, how did I do on the run? I finished in 55:06 with an average pace of 8:52 per mile. So if you've been keeping up with the channel, you'll notice that's quite a bit slower than I'm typically used to running off of the bike. Usually I can push in that like 7.5 minute pace. So unfortunately, we kind of didn't do as well there. But that's the name of the game. That's racing. Not everything's always going to go 100% according to plan, and that's okay. Those are the moments that like you can learn from. There's stuff that I can take into the next race, so that hopefully we don't run into that again. Still very proud of my overall effort. So I'm not going to complain too much about it. I'm not going to let one leg put a damper on like what was overall a pretty good day in my opinion. So how did we do overall? Overall, my total time was 2 hours, 49 minutes, and 23 seconds. So I came in 50th out of 130 people, and then I finished third in my age group. But, fun part about that, there's only 6 people in my age group, so it's not like a crazy accomplishment. But one of my goals on the onset of the season was to finish in the top 50% of my age group anyway. So stoked that I was able to say that. I can't control who's going to sign up, how old they're going to be when they sign up. So we'll see how many more folks do in the next one. But I'm super pumped for that result. I feel like for my first Olympic, it was really good. I feel good about it. I definitely learned a ton. So yeah, overall, great race. Like I can't complain too much. It was really fun being out there with everybody. Had a bunch of friends come out and family as well come out to support me. So that was really cool seeing all them afterwards. I didn't get too many shots after the race just because we were all having fun. We went out to lunch afterwards, and I didn't want to film. anymore. So that's kind of that's kind of how that went down. But overall, the weather was beautiful. Like, the race event itself was super fun. Everybody had a lot of great energy, talking to a bunch of other athletes. You know, everyone's cheering each other on, even while we're out there racing. So I love the camaraderie. I love the environment feel. It's really fun being out there with everybody. So really enjoyed that. All right, so what's next? I'm sure you're thinking, all right, you did all the training, you did the race, like, that's it. False. We are nowhere near done. I still, for this summer, for sure, I still have 2 more races I'm signed up for, both Olympic distance. I want to sign up for some other run things as well, so we'll see if that comes in the future. But I'm still just really early on in this journey, still just getting started. Got a long way to go. I've got tons of other things I want to accomplish. You know, this summer we're tackling Olympic. In the future, I want to continue to tackle bigger distances. I want to eventually work my way up to Ironman. So, like, I got a lot left in the tank. I'm super excited for what the future holds. I'm going to continue filming. I'm going to continue keeping you guys updated, showing you everything about my training, my races, how it's going. You know, just want to shed light into what it's like to do this, because I'm having a lot of fun. And, you know, if this could maybe open a door for anybody else who's interested in it, then absolutely, I would love to be a part of that. So for whoever's watching, if this is something that you want to try, I would definitely recommend it. I know it seems like I do a lot and it's really hard, but really once you get into the swing of things, it just starts to fit into your everyday life. And before you know it, you're out there racing with everybody else. So that's going to do it for the Black Diamond Olympic Triathlon. It was super fun. I loved it. Hope you guys had a fun time kind of watching my training for this one, and get geared up to continue to watch me train for all the next ones to come. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like on this video for me, as it really does help out the channel. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on my upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.